It's hammer time, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore podcast starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore podcast. And that's S-U-R-E because we are always sure. Brought to you by the Great America's Pulse Network. I'm Damon Galdo. I'm your host of the show tonight, and we're starting with some breaking news. So I want to play a clip first before we get into it.
Despite the difficulties and disagreements, mediators say technical talks between the US and Iran will continue for the rest of the week, and progress was made on ending the war in Lebanon. The high-level portion of the talks got off to a shaky start, even as US Vice President J.D. Vance met Iranian officials for the first round of negotiations under an interim peace deal. The Iranian delegation temporarily left the Swiss venue in protest after the US president threatened more strikes.
Iran must immediately stop their highly paid proxies in Lebanon from causing trouble. If they don't, we'll hit Iran very hard again, just like we did last week, only harder.
The proxies he's referring to is the militant group Hezbollah operating in Lebanon. For Tehran, the fighting must end between Israel and Hezbollah before further progress can be made. In a post on X, Iranian chief negotiator warned against such threats.
They had better be careful with their comments. Our armed forces are ready to respond in a different way. Whatever they say, we are the ones who will act.
So there you go, everyone. So I just want to say, before I get started with my monologue, yes, the bags and MRIs are hereditary, but they're also getting even worse. I'm not getting a lot of sleep because of my campaign, putting new floors in my house by myself, by the way. So that's why I look the way I do. So I'm not as handsome as some of the guests that are going to be coming on shortly. So I want to when I talk about the breaking news, I want to talk about the news that doesn't have consequences, not just for the Middle East, but for every American family. Today, the United States and Iran wrapped up a high level of negotiations in Switzerland. According to reports, both sides agreed to continue working hard toward a broader peace agreement, established a 60-day roadmap for future talks, and discussed everything from nuclear inspections, open for global shipping, to the Strait of Hormuz. The United States has even temporarily eased some of the oil sanctions as part of the ongoing negotiations, according to Reuters. Now, here's the question I want to ask all of you tonight, because this is an important question. Is America doing the right thing? Should we be negotiating with Iran in pursuit of peace and stability? Or should we be taking a harder line and relying on the philosophy that many Americans know as peace through strength, from one of my favorite presidents, Ronald Reagan? Can you negotiate from a position of strength? Can diplomacy and deterrence work together? I don't know. You tell me. And when I ask this question and all the other questions that we're going to have, you guys can go in the chat box and ask the question, and we'll answer. We'll give you our answer, how we feel about it. So I want to say, or does every concession risk emboldening an adversary? I mean, regardless of where you stand politically, these decisions matter. They affect our national security, our military, our allies, and even the price we pay at the gas pump. Now, tonight we'll discuss whether America is striking the right balance between diplomacy and strength as these talks move forward. Then we'll turn our attention to another issue that's dominating headlines here at home: immigration enforcement and the role of ICE. From protests to enforcement actions to ongoing debate over border security. The conversation continues to divide this country, and it's still a problem that we're all having here, and everyone knows that. We'll talk about that as well. We all ask whether current policies are working, what role states should play, and how these decisions affect communities across New Jersey and the nation. So, and finally, we'll bring it home with a question that every New Jersey family is asking. Can New Jersey families still afford New Jersey? Between property taxes rising and housing costs, utility bills, groceries, insurance premiums, and everyday expenses, and more residents feel like they're working harder than ever just to stay, at home. And that's a problem. I mean, I feel it. I'm sure you guys feel it as well. I mean, with our new governor, she's horrible. She lied about quite a few things, and it's becoming a problem. So I will get into it because we have a lot of good guests here. I don't want to do a whole long monologue too long. So buckle up. We got a lot to cover tonight, from international diplomacy and national security to immigration policy to the challenges facing families right here in the Garden State. This is the Jersey Shore. So let's get started. Let's bring on our first guest, Seth Eisenberg, Conservative Corner, my man, Seth the Pirate.
So who are going to be your good guests tonight?
Well, you were one of them. Well, I don't want to leave you out. That is a good guess. And the
I appreciate it.
Other two are good. Again, got the hammer here, the golden hammer.
I got it.
So let's bring on our next guest. This is Engles P. Engles, I think you might be muted. Are you?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. So Engles, thank you for coming on. Engles is I'll call him a prodigy.
Yeah.
He's a young man. I'll tell you, he's smarter than me, and I got many, many years on him. But he is the future of this state and this country. And we had Frank on last week on the Pulse, and these two are friends as well. But these two guys are going places. So Engles, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
Then we have Rob Shull. This is the diamond in the rough for social media, because the last time I had him on one-on-one with an interview, somehow, just on my X account, we got 2.1 million views.
Mr.
So
2 million.
What's that?
Mr. 2 million.
Mr. 2 million. That's it. This is Mr. 2 million here. So I don't know how it happened. I asked him, I said, who did you share it with? What happened? The most I've ever gotten really is like 50,000, 60,000, but had Rob on, and all of a sudden, after a few days, it skyrocketed to 2.1 million. So I don't know. I don't know how you did it. What you did was bring that charisma back to the show.
Got it.
All right.
Appreciate it, Damon. Thanks for having me on.
Sure, no problem. So, all right, now we're all here. So guys, first thing, I want to get the international stuff out of the way because I want to talk about New Jersey mostly, because that's where we're all from, except for Seth. He lives in Maryland. It's close enough, but
Pretty much.
But he's been in New Jersey recently. He came up for our election party, podcast that we had at Skeeter's.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And the boxing match thereafter.
And then the boxing match after with a buddy of mine. I know him. When I'm friends from back in the day, when they come show up and stuff.
He was in the Navy. It was no big deal. Trust me.
So, Seth, I'll start with you. What do you think about, with the deals that we're making with Iran now? Now, we talked about a little bit of this on the Pulse on Wednesday, and I figure that Trump is doing this because of the midterms. He wants to lower gas prices and because people vote with their wallets. But I think Iran, the things I'm looking at, they're actually making fun of us, it looks like.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Should we keep going? I care about the midterms. Obviously, I'm running for Congress. So,
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
We're going to be back there again in less than 5 years for the same reason. It's not going to end. This is not the first time they said, oh, yeah, we're going to play nice now. yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah, just give us some money. We're not going to do any more nuclear stuff. They said the same thing to Obama. They've said it before. They've taken American hostages. They've killed American servicemen. They've killed 40,000 of their own people. They bombed their neighbors. They're the biggest sponsor of terrorism in the world. Why do we think, and we haven't changed anything. The same people who were in power then are there now, the same exact regime. So why do we think anything is going to change? Because they said it is, and this time they mean it. Past behavior is the best predictor of future action. And every time they've had something they've agreed to, they've broken it without fail. They have never held their word. They have never held up a peace agreement. Never. What we need to do is unleash the Navy and the Air Force and decimate them. Kill everybody in the regime, all of them. Pull out and then let the people of Iran pick their own government. Destroy the government, because as long as those religious zealots are there, this is always going to happen. And we need to stop telling them they have any say in the Strait of Hormuz. They have no say at all in what goes on in the Strait. None. And that's through international law. They have no say. But we keep telling them, oh, you know, we're going to listen to what you say when it comes to the Strait. Why? Why do we give them any sense of authority on anything? I don't get it. It's they all need that regime needs to disappear, or this is going to continually happen. They're religious zealots. They can put anything in their mind and justify it because Allah wills it. That's all they got to do. And okay, we'll do it. Then Allah wills it. I mean, they killed an 18-year-old kid in the street last month because he protested. They beheaded him or however they executed him over there, and nobody bats an eye. You know what? I'll pay $6 a gallon of gas if we can get rid of those monsters. I won't bat an eye. We was over there once with Desert Storm. We're going to be back there again unless we finish it. But we're not, because, like you said, people vote with their wallets and not with their heads.
Understandable. Good response. I agree with a lot of that. And so, Rob, I'll go to you next before we go to Engles. What are your thoughts on it? Because like I said, I do care about the midterms, and I think this is the reason why they're dialing it back. Now, we destroyed a lot of things over there, and I personally think it was necessary to go in there and destroy the nuclear program and get rid of most of their leadership.
Right.
But making this deal, I'm kind of iffy about it. I don't know if it makes us look weak or not.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think all that's relevant. But at the end of the day, we need to do what's right for America, and if that means we gotta pull out of we gotta pull out of there at this moment to make sure we still have the right people in leadership in this country. It's kind of our priority. I mean, I believe in our military more than anyone, but we can't just turn it into a parking lot, right? If we do that, you start really playing into the whole end times and getting into a situation we may not want to be in. We don't want the rest of the world to be in either. Now, if they had a nuclear weapon, we did what we had to do, and then we should finish the job. If they didn't have a nuclear weapon, then we shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's how I feel about it.
I didn't, Engles, I'll go to you. Now, having a nuclear weapon, my thoughts about it, if Iran was able to obtain a nuclear weapon, now, they already put those water mine bombs and the Strait of Hormuz and all that stuff that we had to collect and get out of there. But just imagine if they had one. They would control everything, the Strait of Hormuz, which actually controls a lot of the oil that feeds other countries, and they would have so much power over everyone just by having that nuclear deterrent. Now, would they use it just willy-nilly? I don't know, maybe. But there would still be that threat where you couldn't go in and say, no, you're not going to shut down the Straits of Hormuz. You're not going to strangle and choke off, the rest of the world. But we won't be able to do that. Nobody would if they had a nuclear weapon. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that the prospect of Iran having a nuclear weapon would, of course, be horrible. But there are a lot of countries in the world that have nuclear weapons. North Korea has a nuclear weapon. Israel has a nuclear weapon. And so I think that while it would be horrible, it's not
How many
something
times
that
does
would
Israel
be.
threaten the world?
It's not. Yeah, of course not. But it's not
So
something
why
that
would you
would be a
compare those?
unique. It's not something that would be a unique threat to civilization or to humanity. You know, the
Israel
Soviet
would, because
Union.
Iran has threatened the world. Israel never has. And North Korea doesn't have the capability to get it past Japan. They've shown that time and time again. So how are you comparing bricks and apples?
Well, I'm not comparing bricks and apples. You
Yes,
know,
you are.
I think that, you know, there have been a lot of countries that have had nuclear weapons. The Soviet Union had a nuclear weapon. China has a nuclear weapon. All of these, North Korea has a nuclear weapon. All of these countries have nuclear weapons, and they posed a much greater threat to the United States and the stability of the United States and the stability of the world than
Never.
Iran has.
They,
The idea that,
I understand
the
you're
idea
younger
that,
and you haven't been around the world. I have.
and
China
furthermore,
is not a threat to the world. Russia has never been a threat to us. They run their mouth, and the first time they tried to do something down there in Cuba, we turned them around.
never.
They
Never.
don't want
You don't think
anything.
they've ever had a?
No.
They've never been a threat to the United
No.
States. So you're saying the Soviet Union
because they're
was
smart
less
enough
of a threat?
because they're smart enough to realize if they launch one, we're launching one, and then China's going to launch one, and then they're going to launch another, and then England's going to launch one. We're all smart enough because we don't base everything on Allah.
Yeah,
That's the thing. If I may interject here,
yeah,
the Ayatollah and that regime, they have an end times view, right? That's what they are. That's what they want, right? That they want to get to the virgins in heaven and whatever their situation is. I don't follow that, but that's my differentiator. Is these other countries want to stick around, right? Iran, from what we understand, is cool with pressing the button and then watching everybody fall off the map.
They're a death cult.
That's what I think. And Engles, I'm glad you brought it up, and Seth, I'm glad you guys had that conversation, because I believe the same thing. I mean, when you call death to America, you call death to Israel, you call death to whatever. When it's everything is based on a religion. Well, I mean, not all of them are like this. I mean, there's many great Iranians out there. I know quite a few of them that moved here and have families over there. But when you get radicalized there, and you have the certain people in power, the Ayatollahs that were in power, they really believe if they kill as many people as possible and they die, then they're doing it in for their religion, their beliefs, and that's a dangerous thing. I'm Catholic, I'm Christian. I'm on the side of life. I want to live. I want people to live. But some radical, and not just Muslim, there's other ones out there too, and that's a scary thing that they can't. They can never have a nuclear weapon, because I think they would use it if provoked. That's all.
I think that if any country, or at least those countries that feel aggressive, if they had an invasion against their country, they would use a nuclear weapon. And that's not me saying that's not me saying that that's the correct course of action. That's just what countries would do. If we landed into North Korea and we were threatening to invade Pyongyang, I'm certain that North Korea would use a nuclear weapon. I'm certain that if we had begun threatening Saudi Arabia would start developing a nuclear weapon. The Saudis have a nuclear weapons program that they've been developing for over 50 years, and we don't bat an eye against Saudi Arabia. Why is that? Because Saudi Arabia decides to be a very calm country, and they don't threaten. The thing is, you're treating Iran like it's not a reasonable country. And obviously, I'm not saying that Iran is the best country ever, but Iran has certain policies that they want to put in place. And to do that, you have to be realistic about diplomacy. You can't be going around basing your entire ideology on Islamic texts. Saudi Arabia has an alliance with the United States because they don't base their entire ideology on Islamic texts. And that's why we don't invade Saudi Arabia, because they have a nuclear weapons program. So why do we have to go into Iran? Because they have a nuclear weapons program. And furthermore, We were told by the Trump administration that we had destroyed Iran's nuclear program. We were told that we had destroyed the nuclear program of Iran. And George Bush, he used weapons of mass destruction as a pretense for invading Iraq. And then 10 years later, we found out that Iraq didn't have nuclear weapons, that it was a complete farce, that Iraq didn't have nuclear weapons. And now we have this treaty, or at least it hasn't been completely ratified yet, but we have this draft of a treaty. And I've been looking at this treaty, and I have to say it's not the best deal. It's a horrible deal. We're giving Iran $300 billion on top of the $35 billion that we spent in the war. We're giving them $300 billion to rebuild their country, which, you know what that means? They're going to rebuild their nuclear arsenal. That's the entire point of the war. We went into war to end their nuclear arsenal, and we're giving them $300.
But we're not giving them $300 billion.
Yes, we're giving them $300 billion in the treaty. We're giving them $300 billion so that they can rebuild their country.
Yeah, not from the United States, though.
It's their unfrozen assets.
Yeah, and it's also Qatar.
That's a separate portion of it. That's in the 9th clause. That's or in the 11th clause. In the 11th clause, they're unfreezing all the Iranian assets. But in the 6th clause, if you read it, it says there's going to be a reconstruction package where the U.S. with partners will commit to a $300 billion reconstruction and economic development plan for Iran. So we and our Gulf allies and the Gulf states, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, all these other countries, we are giving them $300 billion so that they can rebuild their economy. And on top of that, we also have we are also lifting the naval blockade. We're ending all military hostilities. We are giving them waivers, allowing Iranian oil exports and financial transactions. We're creating a whole different system for the transaction of oil with waivers, and we're also unfreezing all of their assets. So I think that it was a horrible deal. I feel like Trump said in 2016 that he wanted to get rid of the Obama nuclear deal because he said he could renegotiate a better deal. And I agree that the Obama deal wasn't the best deal. We probably could have gotten a better one. But Trump came in here. This was his opportunity to get a better deal. And we came out with a worse deal and 15 American soldiers dead.
Well, then maybe Seth's point was right. Make it a parking lot.
I didn't say parking lot. I said kill the regime. All we did, we haven't changed anything.
I agree. We need to get rid of the regime. Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'll say. If we didn't go into Iran, the regime would have crumbled. The reason that the Iranian regime is still in there is because we went into the war. Because if you remember, before we intervened, there were mass protests in the street. The Kurds were rebelling against the Iranian government.
And they had no guns, and they got murdered.
Yeah, I don't know that they would have.
Yeah,
yes, but
if that did happen, Russia already said they would have backed Iran. So
yes, but we could have funded the protesters. We could have helped them. We could have armed them, and we could have caused a civil war in Iran or a bloodless revolution, like the many revolutions that occurred across North Africa in the 2010s.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been bloodless. They already killed 40,000 of their own people.
Yes, but still, when we went into Iran, the Iranian propaganda machine went into full overdrive. They started putting out propaganda. They united the entire country against the United States. Now nobody is protesting. There's no protests in the street. Nobody wants to get rid of the regime anymore because they're all united because they see bombs falling down on them. If we had not gone into Iran, I promise you, there would have been a regime change from the Iranian people themselves, and I don't know what they would have done. They may have gone to a constitutional monarchy. They may have done an absolute monarchy. They may have done a democracy. I don't know. But us going into Iran gave them the pretense to say, "Hey, everybody, look at them. Look at what they're doing. Don't look at us. Don't look at what we're doing. Look at the Americans. Look at those American devils going into our country and bombing us. You should support the regime." And everybody followed it.
Before they cut off the internet there, while we were bombing them, there were people dancing in the street saying, "Thank God America's here."
Yeah, but that didn't last long.
They're not united against us. They're still protesting there. When
That
they
was
got when they got the internet back up 2 weeks ago, the first thing that people showed were protests in the street chanting America.
I
They
know,
want us
but
there.
There was chanting,
those
"Thank you,
protests
Donald
aren't
Trump."
happening anymore. They're not happening.
We don't
When
know.
have
The
you
internet
seen-
shut down again. We don't know what's going on there.
Well, listen, I'm glad we had this conversation. I'm going to get back to New Jersey, but we got Engles. I think you're still 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so got someone young, Seth, you're old as hell. Rob, you're a little younger than me.
So?
I'm gonna keep you guys.
He's not old. He's like
He's
40.
old.
He's like 40.
Yeah.
I got shirts older.
So
than you.
I just wanted to get everyone's opinion on it and let the listeners respond to it. So anybody that's watching right now, you can jump in the chat box. Doesn't matter if we're watching Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, X. Doesn't matter, any social media platform. You guys can jump in the chat box and say something and ask a question or make a statement. It doesn't really matter. But we're still in segment one, and segment one was the acid attack that shocks New Jersey. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about it. There was in Jersey City, and when I saw it on the news, you could see some of the buildings that I built. I spent a lot of time in Jersey City building 4 different phases of municipalities there, and apparently with the crime going on, I don't know what it was, a gang thing, but a bunch of girls got sulfuric acid thrown in their face. So we can play this clip real quick. What? Yeah, let's play.
With a vicious attack, a group of women and teenage girls taken to the hospital after someone threw what is believed to be sulfuric acid at them in Jersey City. And good evening to you. At 6 o'clock, I'm Liz Cho. All 6 of the victims suffered injuries and tonight are recovering from skin burns. Police say a teenager is now in custody for what investigators say was a targeted attack. Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore is live in Jersey City with our lead story tonight. Crystal.
Good evening, Liz. Well, we know from police that one of those victims is a 21-year-old woman who we understand today was transferred to the St. Barnabas burn unit with second-degree burns to her scalp and to her face. We did speak with an eyewitness who reported hearing the victim screaming.
I heard one of the girls screaming, saying it burns, it burns.
Jersey City hazmat crews rushed to Wilkinson Avenue near Ocean Avenue after police say someone threw what's believed to be sulfuric acid on a group of young women, including 3 teenage girls. It happened outside a home around 7:40 Monday night. Amelia Sanchez is bedridden and spoke to us through her window.
All I heard from them was calling each other names and fighting. I was going crazy because I couldn't see nothing. And this is happening on my block. Imagine if my grandkids were sitting out here.
According to investigators, a car pulled up to the group and someone in the vehicle hurled the substance before getting away. Medics took 6 victims to the hospital with non-life-threatening injury.
So Rob, I'm going to go to you with this one. Now, I'm blaming this on. I mean, I know there's always going to be violence, in certain cities like this, but do you I mean, what do you think about swift prosecution and accountability, like in New Jersey, and how it's really making people think that it's okay to do this because they think they'll get out right. Well. I mean, crime, defund the police, all that stuff.
That's exactly right, Damon. We've lost law and order in our state. I'm not afraid because I know how to protect myself and my family, and I will do so. I'll lay my life on the line any day. So I'm going to go where I want to go. But at the end of the day, we let this happen. We created this, right? So that's one of the reasons that I stepped up to run for mayor of Burlington Township, is because somebody's got to do it, and it's not going to be the next guy. And we've gotten away from religion and the Bible and those moral consequences. They don't exist anymore in most households. You have, I don't know what the percentage of households is that there's no father in the home. That contributes greatly to what you see every single day. And it's, kids are not afraid to get in trouble, especially when they're under 18. They think I've heard of kids who have murdered people and said, I'll be out in 2 days because I'm a minor. These kids don't understand the consequences because they see, somebody stab a woman to death on the train and get let out of jail, or they hear about, an illegal immigrant who sexually assaults someone, murders someone the next week, and because Mikey Sherrill doesn't want to look like she, is against illegal immigration, they're out on cash bail. Like or no cash bail. It's just, we've gotten so far away from what our founding fathers envisioned for this country that we need a radical change in this state, specifically back to the right.
I believe you're absolutely correct with that. And Engles, I'll go to you with this one too, because you're younger. I don't know who you see among people your age and how things like this are affecting you. But he brought up Mikey Sherrill and illegal immigrants too that are doing a lot of this stuff. I'm not saying that person was an illegal immigrant, but just the crime in general. But Mikey Sherrill said that she cut a lot of funding for different things, and but yet she found $20 million to fund lawyers for illegal immigrants to block them from getting deported. So with all that, with everything we've seen that video, and then illegal immigration and Mike Sherrill finding that money, what are your thoughts?
Well, very shocking. Breaking news: Democratic-run city is violent. Who could have guessed? But yeah, it shows that we've really had like a deterioration of the law in our country. People don't have respect for the law in this country anymore. A lot of people don't. It used to be that the United States of America was a country where you could live here, have a family, have kids, live the American dream. But now that's all deteriorated. That's all fallen away. And this is what we're left with. And like Rob said, he's very correct. This is all because Christian values have fallen from our society. We wouldn't have seen this when America was 90% Christian back in the 1950s or in the 1940s. We wouldn't have seen this, because we had a set of moral virtues that were guiding our society and that were guiding our country. So it's just very sad and very unfortunate. I hope that those people that got wounded were okay and that they sought medical treatment. But this is what happens when you defund the police ideology, you take a party that doesn't care for the rule of law, and you take a society that has deteriorated so far down the path of lawlessness and moral degeneracy. So that's what I think of it.
Amen, brother.
All right, Seth, I'll turn it over to you.
Answering Rob's question, the U.S. Census Bureau says there's roughly 1 in 4 American children, about 18 million kids raised in a father-absent household.
Wow.
So
1 in 4?
1 in 4. 1 in 4 American children. So it says about 18 million total kids are without a father. And we all know what happens when there's no fathers in the household. There's been studies done for years that shows that's the most detrimental thing that can happen to a child in their formative years than anything else.
Yeah.
But I agree. My father's a retired police officer. He was a police officer in PG County, Maryland. I don't know if you're familiar with Maryland. Yep. PG County was a wild, wild west. I think they had at one time the most active SWAT team in the nation. They were constantly busy. Back when he was a police officer, they used to carry a thing called a nightstick. It's about a 4-inch long piece of wood, that like a baseball bat, and they weren't for ornamentation. They weren't for looks. They would hit you in the face with a nightstick. They would. My dad would say, "Give people a wood shampoo." And you know what? Crime rates were low back then. And do you know why crime rates were low back then? Because cops were handing out wood shampoos. Nobody wanted to get hit with a nightstick. If a cop said, "Give me your license," you gave him your license.
Right.
If a cop said, "Stop," you stopped. And if you swung on a cop, you fully realize I'm about to get my ass kicked. It's not going to be a one-on-one fight. He's going to call back up, and 40 cops are going to be hanging on me like a cheap suit, seeing how many times they can bounce a nightstick off my face before I pass out. Crime rates were low. And that's just one part of that whole equation. The other part was, like you two were just talking about, families. There were fathers in the house. Families meant something. When mom or dad said don't do it, you didn't do it. And if you did, you got spanked. And you couldn't go to school and say, my dad or mom spanked me. Oh, don't worry, we're going to call CPS now and have your parents investigate it. That didn't happen. The teacher would go, you probably deserved it.
Right.
And that was the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have kids that do and say, I don't know if it's going on in Jersey, but Maryland, we have kids that are like group rushing like malls or like carnivals and then causing riots.
Yeah, this happened here.
It's happened here in New Jersey, Ocean City.
It's every weekend here. Every weekend they're doing something like that. And you know what? The police are like, well, maybe we should arrest him. Do you think? You think maybe you should arrest him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think what they should start doing is if you're a minor, like this girl that assaulted, number one, that attack in Jersey sounds very personal. That wasn't random. Someone did something to somebody there, and that was a personal attack. But what should happen is that girls, whoever the person is convicted of the crime, the parents should face the same goddamn sentencing. That's a minor. You're responsible for what your child does in public. And if they get sentenced to 10 years, guess what? Mom and dad, you now get a $100,000 fine. Don't care how you pay it. Don't care if you end up homeless. Your child, your responsibility, attack somebody with acid, you're going to pay as well. And if you can't, I hear the overpass on 25th Street's nice this time of year. Grab a blanket and a pillow. Maybe next time you'll be more concerned about being your kid's parent than their friend. Maybe you'll tell them no next time, or ground them, or take away their phone rather than let them run the streets. Oh, I can't control them.
Screens too, yep.
Yeah, what do you mean you can't control them? It's ridiculous. Kids are now in charge.
Yeah.
The whole world's gone crazy. We don't want to tell anybody no. We don't want to hold anybody accountable because that makes you that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a phoba or something. You're transphobe, gay phobe, whatever. You're some type of phobe if you tell somebody no. No, you can't do that. Black Lives Matter wants to march in the streets. No, we're not going to allow that. Well, you're a racist. No, we just don't want to deal with the bullshit that comes with it. We know what's going to happen. You're going to burn our city down. We don't want that. We need to start telling people no and not caring what the retort is. Oh, you're racist. Okay, whatever. The answer's still no. Now I'm going to say no and laugh in your face. No. We need to get back to basics. No means no. Yes means yes. Mom and dad are in charge. You listen to the police. You go to school. Listen to your teachers. You go to work. You just be a good citizen. Just meet the bar. Get that expectation, and you're going to be fine.
That's basically it. You're right. So listen, guys, we're coming up. This was a long segment that we went through. So we're going to take a quick break and go back to come back for a second. Hammer 2.
Cool.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
All right, that was just a short portion of the song.
I thought I hit a
like
button.
10 seconds.
No, it's just it'll air the whole thing in the end. But that's what that is for that quick break. But this is Hammer number 2, like ICE raids immigration in New Jersey. And I really hate to keep talking about it. I want to talk about positive things. I really do. But it's nonstop at Delaney Hall. I mean, it really is. And it's not just paid protesters going there or nut jobs going there. It's our elected officials are going there. I mean, I don't know if everybody see Andy Kim got sprayed with mace.
Just gonna say that. I got personal beef with that guy.
Yeah, I met him actually. So I only got him the same size of him. You know,
I was gonna say that.
We're the same height. But yeah, he went there and one of the ICE officers sprayed mace at somebody, and he sprayed mace. It goes everywhere. You know, and then it got in his eyes, and it was a big story and all that. But this is our elected officials that are causing most of this. So I want to play the first clip here with that.
Officials say an ICE officer was struck by a car while trying to make an arrest in New Jersey yesterday. Agents say they were trying to arrest a Peruvian national who allegedly took off and hit an agent with his vehicle. The agent then fired his gun at the suspect as he fled. The officer sustained unknown injuries, and the suspect is still at large. The incident happening 85 miles away from Delaney Hall in Newark, where a series of protests were held outside of an ICE detainment facility after allegations spread of poor conditions inside. An investigation into the current crash is ongoing.
So, yeah, so that was, they mentioned it was 85 miles from Delaney Hall, but someone, again, tried to run over an ICE agent. I mean, one woman that got shot in Minnesota and tried to run over an ICE agent. What do you think's going to happen? But this one person got away with it. They fired a shot through the back window, they said. I mean, I don't know if they found that person or arrested them, but I mean, that's how it's getting now. Everything is just so blatant and open, to where you think you can just run over, a federal officer and get away with it. And then everyone goes nuts and like, oh, they shot that woman. Well, her own partner said, drive, baby, drive. And then tries to run the guy over. They hit somebody and he shoots her. So, sorry. That's what happens. Like you said, Seth, you get the, what you call it, the wooden shampoo or whatever it was. I mean, listen, I remember when I was younger growing up in Philly, that there was especially one cop, there was one that you didn't want to mess with. But a lot of them, they knew you were a kid and all that. And if you got in trouble for something, they would pull up and then they would say, don't run. If you run, I ran one time. And
that's all it should take.
It didn't work out well for me. I got the wooden shampoo.
They're not fun.
But it was more to my back. But when he knew who I was, he said, listen, I'll go to your parents' house. I said, but you make me run and chase you, because he knew we broke a window somewhere. My friends were, whatever we did, I forget what it was. We pulled up and we knew all of our names. He said, run and you're going to regret it. And we're like, yeah, right. So we ran and we regret it. But that's the whole point. So I'll go to you with this one, Rob. What happened in Minnesota and then seeing that in New Jersey? I was in Stafford, New Jersey, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a few days ago. Where are we at with this? I mean, how much do you blame elected officials on this too? Because they're the ones that make this normal.
No, that's exactly, Damon. That's exactly where I'm going with this one. And I after the events in Minnesota, I did, I think, 75 straight minutes on this on my YouTube channel. Researched everything that happened, every piece of propaganda that came out, broke it all down. This is the story that came out. You had that picture of that little kid. They said that ICE agents left him out or detained him. Looked like he had his hands behind his back. When in fact his dad got out of the car at the traffic stop, ran away because he was illegal. And they brought him to the house. His mom wouldn't come to the door. Like, they didn't care about their 5-year-old child. And we, as the United States government, took care of him, right? What it comes down to is, and I'm going to say this pretty plain and simple, Democratic politicians want you or anyone that's on the left to be so radicalized that you go to these places like Delaney Hall and step over the line so you get killed, so they can benefit from it politically. They do not care about you, your family, your life. They don't care about how much you pay for gas. They don't care about how much you pay for groceries. They don't care about your quality of life. All they care about is enriching themselves and moving up the ladder in the government. That's the difference between Democrats and Republicans, in my view. Now, are there some bad Republicans? Sure, 100% there are. But we have a moral basis that grounds us that we can fall back on. We know what's right and wrong. The left has gone so far that, again, they want these people to go to Delaney Hall. They want them to, one-up each other. The first guy starts running to the shield. The second guy throws a rock at the shield. The third guy shoots a bullet hole through the shield, and now he's dead, right? And then they want the George Floyd riots again, and they want, the racial division, and that's what they want. That's where this is going. So I commend the ICE officers for doing a tremendous job of maintaining their composure. I hear the things that are said to them, and I just want to shout them out and say, good on you for maintaining your professionalism, maintaining order. Anyone with a lick of common sense realizes we cannot pay $7-8 billion a year out of our budget for illegal immigrants when you have people that are doing it the right way. So the whole thing stinks, and I'll just say it plain and simple. That's what's going on here.
All right, Seth, I'm going to go to you next after this this video that we're going to play, because this was on Father's Day.
Violence returned to Delaney Hall in Newark, the ICE detention facility, on Father's Day. There is video circulating on social media that shows a female protester being hit by a car at the entrance to Delaney Hall. The woman appears to be in the middle of the driveway with her back turned as a red sports car clips her by the left front fender. It is unknown the extent of her injuries. Neither ICE nor Newark police have issued a statement on Sunday's protest and that accident.
It's another vehicle assault, but that could have been from the other side. I don't know who that was. They didn't say who the suspect was, or if he was arrested or whatever it was. But that person hit somebody and took. So, I mean, this is on Father's Day too. So, it's whatever side you're on, it's still you can't retaliate like that. I'm not saying it was a Republican person that ran that person over. I mean, I don't even know if that person that got ran over was protesting against other protesters. I don't have
Minnesota.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't have the information. I'm not Jersey sure on that yet. But I will definitely look into it. But I just saw it today. I'm like, what? It was after Father's Day, and I'm like, wow. Like, what? This is, again, I still blame it on the Democrats, and I mean, maybe some Republicans too. But what Rob said too, we do have more of a moral basis. But when you gaslight one side so bad, I mean, there's this comedian Ben Bankus, and he has a great skit. He's funny as hell. And he said they've been calling us fascists and Nazis for so long. He's like, well, hey, now you got one. All right, I just want to be one. Just round them up, put them in the camps. He said the only difference is, we'll give them free health care if they want, and whatever. It was a long thing. I won't go all into it, but it's a really funny skit. He said, you want to keep calling us that, then fine, and we'll just be that. But still, that was a joke, but that's the point. I mean, all this divide between us, and a lot of it is caused by our elected officials and media as well. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't know if anybody's seen that full video, but the chick that got hit by the car was on the far side dancing around, and she turns behind her and sees the car coming and then starts to dance out in front of it. I don't feel sorry for her. She did that on purpose.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
I feel no pity for her at all. When you get off, check the video out. She's like on the left side of the driveway, whatever you want to call it. It has the flag, and she's kind of twirling and kind of dancing around. She does this and then starts to move in front of the driveway. So she puts herself in front of the car that she sees coming. I don't feel sorry for her.
I know at that point it's a suicide.
I wish I would have.
That's not a car accident. That's using a car to commit suicide.
Like, from Minnesota too, by the way.
When I was growing up, my parents said, "We don't play in the driveway. You don't play in the street because you're going to get hit by a car." So maybe her parents didn't teach her that.
A 4-year-old knows that.
But yeah, she saw it coming. That was not an accident. That she put herself in that position. I don't feel sorry for her. And it's obvious the person driving the car didn't try to hurt her. They weren't like drifting around the corner doing 70 and then clipped her. They were doing what they were supposed to do. But it's and I'm going to say the government, because I don't really trust either side at this point anymore. They've forgotten who they work for. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. They work for us. We are their boss.
Yep.
And to be a boss of the government, you have to pay taxes. So if you pay your taxes, you're a boss. You're paying their salary. You're signing their paychecks. So you have a say in what goes on. If you're here illegal and you don't pay taxes, you have no say whatsoever. None. If you're not an American citizen by birth and you're not here legally, you have no right to say anything. Shut up. Really. And I hope that offends people. Shut up. Why are you even here? Why haven't you self-deported yet? And then when they deport you, you're going to scream and cry, oh, I've been here 50 years. So let me get this right, Jose. You've been here 50 years. You've got a family. You own a business, and you've been working. And in that 50 years, you couldn't find 3 years to apply for citizenship. You've been so busy for 50 goddamn years, you couldn't find the time to do this legally. And now I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because we caught up with you. Get out. There's no other country in the world that plays these games with people who are there illegally. None. When I was in Austria with a friend of mine, if you stay overstay your visa, they come get you. That day, you get a phone call, hey, your visa's up, you need to leave. And if you're not gone in a week, the police come drag you out of your house and bring you to the airport. Okay? Austria is not as big as America, but the point is no country plays that game. We play that game. Poland doesn't even let them in. Like, no, you're not coming in. Well, my country's at war. Don't care, you're not coming in. Well, I'll get a job. Don't care, you're not coming in. Get the water hose. They don't care. Why are we supposed to be the world's Holiday Inn? And on top of that, why are we the world's Holiday Inn and then pay for them to stay here? Why do we support the entire world? Granted, there are some people that need it. Like if you're in a war-torn country and they're going to come kill you because you're on the other side and they don't like you, fine, I can understand that. Yeah, we're going to help you. If you follow the rules and you do all the paperwork, yes, it's a lot of paperwork. Yes, it's very expensive, and it should be. It shouldn't be, hey, can you play tic-tac-toe? Oh, great, you won. You're a citizen now. Come in. It should be very lengthy. It should be very expensive to show that you want to be a citizen, that you're willing to do the work to become a member of this country. Other than that, unless your life's in danger or there's a natural disaster or what have you, you have to do it legally. And even then, there's a legal process for that. You just don't skip across the line and go, hey, I'm here. I'm in danger in my country. No, there's still a process.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You have to follow the process. And if you don't, you end up in Delaney Hall. And you end up in a prison where people might not be able to visit you every day because you're not there because you won some Citizen of the Year award. You're there because you broke the law. And there's a punishment for that. You don't get to eat the food you want. You don't get to stay up late watching TV. You are a prisoner. You are a ward of the state at that point, and you will do as they tell you until you're gone. And you have nobody to blame but yourself. Nobody.
Absolutely right. So, Engles, I'm going to go to you next after this break because this is an important question for you with this next Hammer segment. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Hammer number 3. This one is, can New Jersey families still struggle under current leadership? And that's the thing. Can people still afford to live in New Jersey? I mean, you have property taxes remain one of the highest in America. You have home ownership is increasingly difficult for young families. Rent continues to climb because we have the Mount Laurel doctrine, and they're building all these houses and all these, affordable housing, that the Mount Laurel Doctrine was made in 1975, and now they're really pushing it hard, and it's hurting a lot of people. It's driving up the housing cost, and plus we have 900,000 illegals here that are renting and buying houses as well. So, but so Engles, before I get to you, I just wanted to tell everybody I got over a battle with my HOA. It's been a long time battle with them because HOA here, when I first moved here, it was like $190 a month, which is still high, but they cut the grass, they replaced the roofs when they're ready to be replaced. The snow removal, I mean, that's roughly exterior stuff they take care of. But 266 homes, $190 a month, a lot. Well, they raised it to $300 a month. Yeah. So my entire development, they're all up in arms about it, pissed about it, as they should be, because the reason why they did it is Governor Murphy passed this before he got out. It's called the covered buildings doctrine. And covered buildings, there was a collapse at like a condominium place, but it was a concrete steel building with an underground parking garage, and it wasn't maintained. So he made them, have reserve studies where you have to keep so much money in your account. So my HOA, morons or crooks, one or the other, they went by that. We had a reserve study, and it's not legally. They don't have to keep $3.7 million in their bank account. We already have. We just had every roof replaced, every roof, and we still have over $1 million in the account. So they think we need to have $3.7 million. I'm like, the roofs are warranted for 30 years. Okay, so you don't need to raise it $100 for every single resident right now. Like, it's the law. I'm like, well, I do my homework. So I did it, and then so we've been going back and forth, and then I told them, I said, well, I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying my HOA fees. I said, I'll put the money in an escrow account, and it'll. I showed it to them. I said, it's right here, because I had repairs that I had to make. That there was a sprinkler that was spraying on my front door. I had no idea because it was at night. So one night I was up late. I came down and I heard. I'm like, what's the noise? I opened the front door and it sprayed me in the face. So I was wondering why my wood kept rotting out, in the front door. So I took a video of it and I sent it to him. Look, listen, you got a sprinkler head that's shooting right at my front door. Like, come on. No, we'll fix it. They changed the head. I said, well, what about the wood? You're supposed to take care of the exterior. I said, so they said we're going to be a whole new door and frame and the side light, because it's all one frame. I'm a carpenter. I know I could do it myself, but I'm not paying for it if I'm paying $300 a month. So then they said they were going to fix it, and they didn't. So I'm like, well, I'm not paying. And they tossed me to the lawyer, and the lawyer said, we're going to put a lien on your house. And I said, have at it. I said, I'm talking to a lawyer as well. It's called ChatGPT. No, but I talked to a lawyer as well. And he's the one who gave me the idea. He said, put it in an escrow account and show them that it's there. Say, I'm just not handing it to you until you fix it. And so then I went back and forth with the lawyer a bunch of times, and then they put a lien on my house. But the lawyer also told me, contact the Department of Consumer Affairs, and I did. And they investigated them, and everything they did was illegal. So the lien came right off, and now they're being investigated. And then we had a HOA meeting on Wednesday when I completely pantsed the entire board. I mean, it was bad. They were very, very upset because I had every answer to every rebuttal that they had, and then every resident that was there was just attacking the shit out of them. It was great. So I rallied up the troops. So I guess they're going to vote for me.
Fight for your rights
in November. Yeah, it took a while, man. It was a lot of work, to go through all this, because you guys, you gotta be kidding me. Because I was on that board at one point when I first moved here, and it was when Ed the Trucker Durr, right after he won a state senate, and he was running again. So I had a rally for him out at my house here with Bill Spadia. We were out back in my yard, and he gave me a lawn sign. I put the lawn sign up, and they told me they were going to fine me $70 a day if I don't take it down. Said it was causing civil discourse. I'm like, what? and because they're all libtards, on the board. I was the only Republican. So, and they knew I was running too. So I said, I had to cite 3 different Supreme Court cases until their lawyer said, no, he's right. You can't make him take it down. It's against his First Amendment right. He can have it up 30 days before and have 7 days to take it down, just like you will put it out in public. But if you don't have an HOA, you can have it there and, whenever you want, all year long. But anyway, I wanted to get the story out of there because I was happy about that. My wife was loving it. And she's like, wow, you really destroyed them. So I'm like, yeah. And it took me a while to figure out all this information. But I went in there and they had no responses whatsoever. Now the entire development, they're all in the Grand. I live in the Grand, it's called, and the development. And all the residents are on their Facebook page and they're saying all this different things against the board. And they're like, hey, thank you for this, for that. I'm like, yeah, just vote for me in November. There you go. So,
it's a coup.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Engles, I'm getting you now. So yeah, we got about 30 minutes left in this episode, and we have one more segment after this. It's a short one, but Engles, when we talk about the price of housing and how young families can't buy homes, I know you're not ready to buy one yet, but what are your concerns seeing the way it is right now?
Well, my main concern is that we're seeing that a lot of housing is being bought up by companies like BlackRock, and they're buying up the homes in a lot of these areas. But also that the federal government is basically subsidizing housing for illegal immigrants. And, it's a very big problem for the United States that we are not only letting these people come in here and, they take a lot of jobs that should be going to American citizens, and they're also engaging in welfare and Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. It's not just that, but they're also taking up the housing, and it's just not right. There's maybe like 10 million illegals in this country. That's the most reliable number that I have. Some put it up almost to 20, but I'm not sure if I've seen anything reliable about that. But still, the fact that we have millions of people here who, by any metric, should not be here, buying up housing, taking up Social Security, taking up Medicaid, being a liability to the budget, to the economy, to the country, it's just not right. And it's harming the younger generation. So I think that that's a very big issue. And that's why so many people are concerned with the cost of housing.
Yeah, and Rob, you live in New Jersey. Obviously, my property taxes are going up any day now. I'm going to get smacked with it because I had an assessor come, and I tried to fight it, but of course, it's not going to happen. I lost that battle anyway. HOA battle. But the property taxes, they're going up, and everything's so expensive. Insurance is going up. Insurance premiums are going up, and a lot of it has to do with legals. You mentioned earlier about Rob Kinitra, talking to him. I think I said it before he did about the $7.3 billion we pay for legals here. I'm taking that, Rob.
Paul.
Paul. I'm sorry. I think I said it first because it was like a year and a half ago. So, but no, he's been on that a lot. I mean,
yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? How do we get the pricing lower? I talked about the Mount Laurel doctrine too.
Yes,
and the affordable housing. What are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah. Thanks, Damon. I think there is a way to approach the Mount Laurel doctrine. If you sit down, look at what's required to get your number down, right? You can approach it from many different angles. You can have up to 38% senior housing, which is 55 plus. So that means you're not adding children to the school system, right? So the population is getting older. I think that's going to be the next thing is we're not prepared to take care of people as they get older because there's going to be less younger people, more older people, right? So you take Burlington Township, for example. You've got 3 new complete subdivisions going in Burlington Township in order to meet our quota for the affordable housing Mount Laurel doctrine. It took me probably about 2.5 days of sitting there and going through the numbers. We have probably enough sublet housing or sublet housing opportunities in Burlington Township to meet that number without adding one single new lot into Burlington Township. Plus, you have the opportunity for, and it's written in our master plan, one of our goals is for generational housing, to pass down housing generation to generation. So it secures people's housing. You know, we're not building in excess, but the current council and the current mayor, who was appointed, not elected, by the way, they chose to go with these huge subdivisions in Burlington Township. And it's like this in many other areas. So I encourage every single person that's listening, take a look at the master plan it's public information. You've all got an AI system. If you throw that in an AI system, it'll spit out different ideas. Take a look at those. Get with your small group of people that you trust. Go through it together, and I bet you that you could come up with a better plan than the one that is currently out there. The other thing you could do, and we have a situation where they just approved the 76th warehouse in Burlington Township, New Jersey. 76 warehouses we've got now. They approved that. Then they approved a truck depot in a residential area that's right next to it, that already has a problem with an Amazon warehouse right next to it. If you, as the mayor, were to hire an expert to do a quality of life assessment, and that expert came back and said, yes, this will negatively impact the quality of life to the point where people will start to move out, you can have a moratorium on all commercial building for 6 months while you redo your master plan. It doesn't matter what the zoning says. Everyone comes back to me and says, hey, if the zoning allows it and the person wants to sell their property to someone that wants to buy a truck depot, you have to let it happen. That's absolutely not true. You can tie it up in court. This is what West Hampton, New Jersey does every single time. You tie it up in court. Yes, does that cost a little bit of money? It sure does. At the end of the day, are the kids safer if there's no tractor trailers coming down their residential street, which they do every single day? I have plenty of videos of it. Yes, they are. You tie it up in court. You get the expert to come in and do the quality of life and the traffic and the safety assessment. That puts the county, the state, if there's county roads, state roads, they're all put on notice. Hey, you can't do this because it's unsafe. And at the end of the day, in the United States of America, we have the right to have safe streets and a good quality of life. And we're getting so far away from that we think we just have to comply with this Mount Laurel doctrine. And it's just categorically untrue. Your local government is just not doing their part in pushing back on behalf of its citizens because they're lazy, or they have a cousin who's, into truck depots or car washes, or, they have some type of relationship where they're getting a kickback, allegedly. I'm not saying that officially about the Burlington Township Council or mayor, but there are many people who think if there's a simple process for putting a halt to this, if there's a simple process for changing the way that we approach meeting our affordable housing mandate demands, why are we not doing that? And why was I able to figure that out so quickly when I think I'm pretty intelligent, but I'm not that much smarter than the next guy. It comes down to effort, and it comes down to caring about the citizens of the place in which you live and caring about where you come from and your legacy.
Yeah, that's all it takes. And then Seth, I'm going to go to you. I mean, you probably don't know what the Mount Laurel doctrine is here, but they passed it. It was like 1975. It's about affordable housing, and it was never really used as much as it is now. And now they're pushing it very hard. It's like Joe Biden saying your neighborhoods are going to change. That's basically what it is. They're pushing a lot more people in here. I mean, they're putting places. They're putting AI data centers in protected pine lands too. And all that. So, I mean, it's really affecting people that were born and raised here and invested a lot of their time here and generations of families. Do you have anything like that in Maryland?
Right down the road from me at Adamstown, they're fighting a data center. Apparently, the way I was told, the county council president, Brad Young, and the county executive, Jessica Fitzwater, agreed to it before it even came before anybody. Then it came to a vote. And of course, people were like, hell no. You're putting this in the middle of a neighborhood next to an elementary school. You're going to have 24 diesel engines outside. The thing is, I think they said like 20 football fields big. It's always running, and it's not bringing any jobs to the county. It's bringing 20 jobs after it's done because it's self-maintained. It's a computer.
Yeah.
So they voted. They had to put it on. They got agreed to have to put it on a ballot referendum. They were going to have because our election's here tomorrow. The election board said, no, we're not putting it on the ballot. It doesn't meet X, Y, Z. Sorry. It's all about money. I firmly believe Young and Fitzwater have been paid. I'm sure they're getting money somehow to put this through. Their donations are all from corporations when you look at their election campaign. There's not a single person on there. It's corporations. They're both scum. Really, they really, really are like that ring that forms in the toilet bowl if you don't clean it for a while. That's what they are. They are disgusting human beings who really didn't care what the voters said. And then when they wanted to put it on the referendum, those two fought it. They fought against their voters. So that just and they're Democrats, by the way. So that kind of sums them up as people. But yeah, it seems to me that the people who pay the taxes and foot the bill for everybody keep getting stuck with more bills or keep getting the short end of the stick. Like, yeah, you're going to do this, but you're going to pay for it. Or we're going to cut them a break, but we're going to raise your property tax. Or we're going to do this for them, but we're going to raise the price of this on you. You want to make it hazable affording? Stop jacking up property tax. Stop forcing people to rent the people that can't afford it. Let them rent the people who can. Bring in business, not AI centers, not these big warehouses. Bring in businesses that can employ people, pay them money to buy a house. Stop making it everybody else's problem because whoever from Guadalajara just got here and can't buy a house. That's not my problem. I'm sorry. That's horrible, but it's not my problem. Nobody helped me buy my house. I mean, my mother had to pass to get me the house, and God knows that's the only way I could have got a house. But the point is, nobody helped me. Nobody helped Damon. Nobody helped Rob, and nobody's probably going to help Engles either. So why are we required to help other people? If you don't have a house, get off your ass and work for it. Like everybody before you is done. And not everybody can afford a house, and that's fine. So you get a townhouse or you rent or you do something. Home ownership is not a right. That's a reward for doing what you should be doing. You've got a good job. You're taking care of yourself. You're financially smart. You've done everything you need to. Boom. Now I can get a house. It's not a guarantee. And like I said, not everybody wants to own a house. It's a lot of responsibility. Landlord, something breaks, you call them up, fix my stuff. You own the house, you got nobody to call. You got to get up and do it. There's pros and cons to everything, but at the end of the day, I'm not responsible to help somebody get a home. Stop raising my property tax. That way people can afford houses. They can build things. But if you're paying $5,000, $6,000 a year in property tax, who the hell can afford that? That's ridiculous. I remember when I got this house, my property tax was $1,200 a year. It's set $4,300 now, and it's going to go up again. That's ridiculous. My house hasn't gotten bigger. My property hasn't gotten bigger. I haven't built anything on it. But now it's more because I have to pay for other things. You know, I don't mind giving somebody a hand up, but I'm not doing handouts anymore. I'm tired of it. Can't do it. I can't afford it. I got a family I got to take care of. I got to feed my family. I got my people. And if I can take care of them, I'm doing well. But that doesn't leave much to help anybody else. And I'm not trying to be a bastard, but they're my priority. Everybody else, if I can help you when I can, I will. But don't hold your breath and expect me to. Don't make it an expectation.
So, all right, you got it there, Seth. I mean, here, like you said before, we pay $7.3 billion a year in our state taxes towards illegals. Our budget is something like $65 million around there.
63, I think.
63. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so 7.3 comes out of our taxes to pay for illegals, and then they're driving up the price of housing as well. I mean, it's just so ass backwards here in New Jersey, and that's why I'm running for Congress. That's why Rob is running for mayor in Arlington Township. But listen, we're coming to an end here. We got one more quick segment left, the Patriot and Loser Award. Well, we'll go with the loser first, but we're going to take one quick break, and then we'll go with that.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun and it's informative and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
And that's right, Congressman Van Drew. Thank you very much, because I am the real deal. Appreciate that when he said that. That was awesome. But thank you again, Congressman Van Drew. So we're going to go to the loser of the week award, and this loser is somebody that works for an online newspaper company, and what they've done. Now they're supposed to be a Republican, okay, or I would more say a rhino. So they attacked me. They were on a podcast with some of their other people that they work with, and right away they said, "Oh, Galdo is going to get removed from the ballot. He doesn't have enough signatures. I had more than enough." And they're talking about it, and they're like, "Yeah, they're definitely going to challenge his ballot." And then, lo and behold, 2 days later, I get the email. I'm in court, going over every signature, and I won. So then this guy writes another article attacking Justin Murphy. He's running for U.S. Senate. So there's that, saying that he doesn't have a shot and he shouldn't have won the primary. Okay, well, I mean, it's his opinion, but still, you're a Republican. I mean, he's your Republican nominee. So then he goes after who is going to be on, well, we'll get to it later, the virtual fundraiser this Friday. Martino Cartier is running for commissioner in Gloucester County, and he goes after him hard. Now, Martino has already talked about some of these things. About he's a hairdresser or barber too, and they accidentally cut the lady's neck and she sued him, and there was other things in that article, but whatever, it wasn't. But anyway, he keeps going after Republicans, and he's supposed to be a Republican. And so he works for the New Jersey Globe. So I present you the loser of the week.
The Jersey Shore podcast is announcing the recipient of our latest Loser Award. This award goes to David Wildstein.
Losers! 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 Oh, shut up!
Unfortunately, he wasn't here to accept that award.
I know. If I ever see him, I will definitely give it to him. So
yeah.
Looks like he's got a little bit of family from West Virginia.
Yeah.
Sure no offense to West Virginia. Just saying, it looks like there's got
a little blue tint to him.
Little inner family playing around in that one there.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are all so set. He's got that big forehead, the distended jaw.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle's my daddy too.
My brother cousin.
Why go across town when you can go across the hall?
All right.
That was good. All right, so we're going to do our Patriot of the Week award. Here we go.
Oh my God! Across the hall.
The Jersey Shore podcast presents the Patriot Award, and it goes to Frank Cipottone.
Very cool.
I had to give it to Frank. Engles, you're going to get it too, but I figured since you were on, I would give it to Frank. He was on the Pulse on Wednesday, but yours is coming up. You're definitely going to get it because you are a young, true patriot, and you're the future of this country.
Hell yeah!
So
thank you.
Yeah, well, you guys are doing wonderful things with this party, and at such a young age, helping out with all these campaigns. I mean, it's amazing. You guys
I got, if I may, I got three young kids on my campaign. Pretty much my entire team.
Wow.
Okay?
Who we got?
We got Angelo, we got Bobby, and we got Chase.
Oh yeah, Bobby. Whoop.
Yep,
Yeah.
Bobby O'Sullivan. Shout out to him. Young Patriot, great kid. He's done a lot of door knocking with us. He has done work on a bunch of different campaigns. Dustin Murphy. He's went door knocking, with me a few times, and he's actually got the title of campaign manager along with Angelo Hong from, I think he's from Bergen County. I met him through QPUSA, and then also Chase Wiles is he did my website, so check that out, robshull.org. It's the best looking website that at the county level that I've ever seen. I'm not just saying that because it's mine. Please check it out, and I can definitely give you his contact information. But those three young Patriots, I appreciate them. I've been talking to especially Angelo for a long time. They're very bright, they're very motivated, and they keep me, they give me hope for the next generation. So, as well as, you two as well. So, thank you guys.
I know when I think of Frankie, only one thing comes to mind that kind of sums Frankie up, and that's boobies. That's
he said it again.
Boobies.
I don't know if you saw the post.
I didn't see that one.
No, I haven't. Not yet. But
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I mean,
I gotta
Frank's
watch
a
it,
smart kid, just like Engles. Very, very focused. Very, professional. But if he hears the word boobies, he can't help. He laughs and giggles and turns bright red. So yeah, I like him. I like them both. I like Engles and Frankie. But that just every time I think of Frankie now, I think boobies.
Wow.
I mean, literally, it was like instantaneous. We'd like, water's wet, sky's blue, sun rises in these boobies, and he'd lose it. Just
His mom is text him on Facebook, put it up there that I can send to this podcast.
But he's a good kid.
Even though he's never seen a pair yet, probably.
Wait.
Oh, Frank's calling right now.
Oh my gosh.
Put him on. Hey, Frank, we're talking about it right now. We're live on the podcast still.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we're just your ears must have been ringing.
Boobies.
Yeah, boobies.
You got the Patriot of the Week award as well.
I got the what?
The Patriot of the Week award. If you were watching, you would know.
Oh, I was watching it earlier, but then I zoned out and had to go do something. But hello to everybody on the podcast, and thank you for the Patriot of the Week award.
Congrats.
Congrats, Frankie.
All right, Frank. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Okay, remember when you earlier said I wasn't old? I'm so old. I remember when there was no internet or cell phones or pagers, and you didn't have HBO. You had 13 channels on the TV, and if it wasn't on there, you're screwed. You don't get to watch it.
So by that, he's at least like over 20, basically.
Yes, I will take that. I'm over 20. I remember when TV shut off at like 1 a.m. They played the national anthem, and then it went to static till 6 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
That sounds horrifying. That sounds like a national emergency.
Oh, it was. Well, now
if that happened now, I would think a nuclear attack is happening.
People would lose their crap. Oh my God, the TV's off.
All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. I want to just put this flyer up real quick because we're having a virtual fundraiser on Friday. Obviously, for me, Justin Murphy, running for U.S. Senate. We have John Valentine there. He's a city councilman in Monroe Township. He's running for mayor. And then you have Catherine Falcone, Martino Cartier, and Barbara McCormick there, all running for Gloucester County commissioner. So it's going to be a live virtual fundraiser. You can scan the QR codes and we'll put it out there on social media. It'll get you on if you want to come in. My producer will bring you in audio only. If you want to ask questions to any of your candidates, and then you scan the other QR code, or just go to votedamongaldo.com. You'll see the anecdote just for that fundraiser there. It's going to go to me, and then I'll disperse the money evenly to everybody. So 16 to 70% of the funds that are raised will split evenly down the middle. But we're going to do this on Friday at 8 p.m. on the 26th. So, and then we still got to get a video together with Justin Murphy. You know, and talks about his hair a lot. So I got to mow it. So I got this for Justin. Justin, this is for you. So.
Very nice.
But all right, guys, thanks for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. Everyone that watched, thank you. I appreciate it. And everyone that commented, I appreciate it as well. But like and subscribe to Jersey Shore Podcast and the Great America's Pulse Network. All right.
RobShull.org.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started. Job site dust to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up. While suits in D.C. say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot what hard work means. They talk real big, but nothing ever changes. While Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain, I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town. Rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair. I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot, and tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for work, and not another plan, not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands for Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan. Let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way. I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand. Cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. While the old guard keeps playing the same old game. But we're done with waiting, done with excuses. It's time for a man who knows how to do this. I'm built a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Make the crowd chant with no music.
All right, we're back. I forgot. Before I tried to catch it before our producer went to the last thing there. So, Rob, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, just real quick. I could really use some donations, guys. I know we talked about it earlier. I think Seth mentioned it. Corporations donate to the Democrats. The people donate to the Republicans. So you guys go to robshull.org /contribute. Check out my website. $5, $10 really goes a long way. Just looking to get, door hangers, yard signs, that sort of thing. I'm going to put the work in. I will knock on more doors than any candidate in the history of Burlington Township politics. That is my pledge, and can hold me to it. So I've already been to 500 homes, and trying to get as many as I can. So yeah, robshull.org, Rob Shull for mayor on Instagram, Robert Shull on Facebook, and X, Rob Shull 1776.
All right. Everyone knows all my social media platforms, and votedamongaldo.com is the website. So we're all going to raise money. I'm already stealing his college fund.
No,
no, you're not. Yeah,
Thankfully not.
If I have a little bit more money after the college fund, maybe you can take it.
You don't get it. So, and Engles, if you and anyone, if you want to let everyone know where to find you on your social media, or it's up to you.
No, fine.
No, okay. Seth, obviously.
Yeah, but I just want to let everybody know, like Rob just said, running a campaign ain't cheap. It's very expensive. And I know Damon's probably a little apprehensive. I don't know. I think Justin is too, and I'm sure Rob is too. They don't like to ask for money. So I will do it for them. Give them money. If you can spend $8 on a cup of coffee, you can send them $8, because a cup of coffee is only going to be around for 20 minutes. These guys are going to be around for a couple of years and try to make things better. If you're one of those people that sit around and constantly complain about how bad the state is, and we need to do this and we need to do that, and man, I'm getting screwed left, right, and center. Here's a chance to change that. Give them money. Go door knocking with them or for them. Hand out their information. Do whatever you can do to get their name out. And if you don't, and if you choose to sit on your ass and complain, and that's all you do, you get what you deserve. And you can't complain ever again. If you're upset with the way your state's going and these guys are running, they want to change it, and you don't help them, you need to shut up. You've lost all rights to complain, because you have a chance right now to do something, and you're choosing not to. That's a choice you are making. So be quiet if you don't help. These guys will never tell you that, so I'll tell you that, because I don't live in New Jersey. What are y'all going to do? Come beat me up? Whatever. Give them money. Give them your time. Help them out. That's all you got to do. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars, so that would be very appreciated. Like Rob said, $5, $10. Send them $5 or $10. Something. Do something except complain and gripe about the state, the way everything's going. Do something. God, I hate people that just complain, and when they get a chance to change stuff, I don't want to. Okay, then shut up.
Well, it's summertime. I can always put him in a sweatshop.
There you go. So, put him in the salt mines. He can work there for $0.05 a day. That'll make a man of him.
Appreciate you, Seth. Thank you.
Wow.
But I'm on X, Conservative Seth, and then I'm on Facebook, the Conservative Corner. If you go to our Facebook page, believe it or not, I'm restricted because I've said something that upset somebody somewhere. So I'm kind of restricted there. So if you send me a message, I don't get to you. I'm not ignoring you. It's Fascist Book blocking me from doing something. I don't know. And I'm on here Wednesdays on the Pulse, and then I fill in every once in a while. And then the last Sunday of every month, I do that. So, yeah, there's that.
So, all right, guys. Great producer, thanks for bringing us back on for that. So, signing off.
Thanks, Damon. Thanks, everybody.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.